Hi, my name is LaNadia Pugh, and my Capstone research project is on teacher perceptions on the school-wide implementation of blended learning program in an alternative school. With the development and implementation of blended learning programs for 21st century students, new pedagogical challenge, questions, and concerns have come to surface about the adaptation of these new learning models in schools today. More importantly, this study was designed to identify how teacher perceptions can have a great influence on the successes and failures of these newly implemented programs, especially in an alternative school setting. Problem. With Georgia schools ranking the third in the United States for the lowest graduation rates, and some schools have been under fire for poor performance on state-mandated testing, educators need new learning strategies for chronically underachieving students. Purpose. The purpose of this study is to identify teacher perceptions on the school-wide implementation of blended learning in an alternative school. There is no evidence that suggests that any one method of delivering instruction works to educate every child. Furthermore, current literature provides some insight on teacher perceptions of blended learning in alternative schools, but needs further exploration. My aim is to uncover perceptions that affect implementation of blended learning programs. It may be that teachers have negative views of blended learning because of lack of professional development for learning, use of the same teaching methods for all students, or insufficient technology integration. After exploring extensive literature on blended online learning versus traditional learning, research shows that blended learning enhances the learning process, it increases collaboration and student engagement, teachers are allowed to customize their learning interventions, you can also support struggling learners such as those with learning disabilities, and this also has the potential to improve low-performing schools in Georgia. Methodology. The methodology used was a qualitative case study. The purpose of a qualitative case study was to illuminate teacher perceptions on blended learning, to uncover potential barriers during implementation of blended learning, and the findings used will be used to adopt blended learning in all alternative school settings. Study participants. The participants used in this case study were highly qualified teachers. They worked at a Title I school. Their teaching experience ranged from 0 to 10 years of experience. Various content areas were represented such as language arts, math, science, social studies, and electives. And the research site was conducted at one of Georgia's alternative schools. Data collection and analysis. Data was collected in numerous ways: by classroom observations, semi-structured interviews, rich text documents, Crestwell analyst procedures were used, and also a conceptual data analysis was conducted. In addition, the researchers coded and transcribed the data to generate numerous themes. Data presentation. Many blended learning themes emerged after data collection. They were implementation or the instructional strategies used by teachers, technology or digital tools and resources such as the computer, the learning management systems, and the e-class, beneficial learning outcomes, and this is if teachers felt that students achieved academically or if their learning was meaningful, professional development received whether it was on-site or county professional learning, classroom management whether students were engaged and teachers felt that the learning environment was positive, and teacher perceptions varied based on the implementation strategies used. So what does this mean? In conclusion, teacher perceptions of blended learning was heavily influenced by teacher support or help given during the implementation phase, instructional strategies used which could be independent learning, group work, or cooperative learning, the amount of professional learning received whether it was on-site or county-based, and how teachers and students were familiar at using new technology tools. Recommendation for blended learning in any alternative school would be to provide ongoing professional learning to support the teachers during the implementation process, to have a technology team to help assist teachers and students with their technology needs, to hire instructional coaches or technology coaches to provide one-on-one assistance or additional support with curriculum assessment and instruction for teachers, and also make sure teachers and students have adequate technology tools. Furthermore, blended learning programs combined with technology-based learning and face-to-face instruction can make students effectively engage in a range of learning experiences. These programs will also promote a tremendous change in the way classroom instruction is delivered and how students learn. Lastly, utilizing a blended learning approach will help teachers recognize and, most importantly, cater to the learning needs of all 21st century students. Here are my references, and I hope you enjoy my Capstone research project on blended learning.